Okay, hello everybody. First things first, I'm always checking if all of you can hear me, so I'll just take my time and wait for your responses. Let me know if you can hear me, if the audio is okay. Um, Still working on the little things, and today's stream will be a little bit different than usual, I assume, because like last few days, I didn't know what to talk about. There's so much going on in the world and around that certain people like me feel it. It's not just like seeing it like, oh well, that's going on. Like no. It's like connecting to everyone, being able to access their feelings, their memories, everything, and then just getting it all. Like it's a bit overwhelming. So I've been allowing myself to just experience that, to just sit in with it and just see where it all goes. And at the same time, I get to see a lot of comments, a lot of people talking about stuff, and there's like, I don't know, a lot of fear. Like anxiety, chaos, panic, a lot of unknown. And these things, affect our reality a lot. Like what we see and experience, what we hear about, and at the same time, like we bring it into our daily life. And that affects how we feel, what we do with things. For some people, it's just like a massive stop. Like they can't do anything. It's just a bit too much. And so with that, I thought like, hey, well today I want to be a little bit different. And I'm not the best person in the world or anything. I don't know anything. Like, it's just like I'm just me. I'm still learning. I'm still experiencing things. I'm making tons of mistakes and everything else, but at the same time, the least I can do is, hey, I'm going to be me and let's see if I can. I want to say like give you more hope, but this word is loaded. Like last few years, with a lot of things been happening around the world, certain countries, a lot of people hoping for something to happen, and it doesn't happen, and people are like left with hope without doing anything. So I want to say like, I don't know, give you some security, maybe allow you to connect with yourself a bit more, or just enter that a little softer side, hopefully. Like I'm not the best at expressing that because I'm still learning about it myself, but it's just like a lot of times I think I might get a little bit too much. Like certain topics are heavy loaded, so I just do a rant and then I come out harsh and everything else. And I'm not all, oh, hello loved ones, and like it's not me. But I want to be myself, and I just want to leave a little part of myself so that other people will just feel like, hey, I can take something out of this. I can do something for myself, and things are gonna get better one way or the other. So that's my goal. That's like today. I know, like, I can't change everything. It's not like, oh, well, just think positively and reality will become better. No, it doesn't work like that. Especially when you're getting a load of information. Right now, it's going to be a lot of contradicting manifestations. So even that is going to be like work in progress. But there's little things we can do here and there. Just try to like bring out the best in everyone else. So that being said, hello everybody. Andromedan, Pure Water, Lamashtu, Lillian, Conan, hey, it's been a while since I saw you here. Cosmos United, see you too. Nika, hello everybody. Wow. I'm really grateful for seeing so many people gather up. It's like, hey, what am I gonna talk about? Like it's always a thing. So just having so many people join in, like just hey, let's talk about whatever. You're like, good. Someone has a topic to bring up. So starting with Conan's question, am I into Berserk? I assume you're talking about the anime, and sadly I haven't seen it. Like I know it's a classic, I know a lot of people like it, but I just like I don't know, like I didn't have that luxury to just sit down and watch whatever. It's more like from anime, I'm only gonna watch something that I'm working on. So if I'm like translating it or editing it in my native tongue and all the stuff, then yeah, I'm pretty much like gonna see it somewhat. But other than that, like yes, I saw like very little, so not yet. El Payaso Lee is asking, hey Aquila, do you feel we will witness a golden age since everything runs in cycles? Yes, regards the golden age, for me, it's a very similar question to are we gonna get into that 5D or new Earth and like just something's gonna change and all of a sudden like massive. Oh look, I woke up and I'm in a new world and the world is amazing and everything's like butterflies and all this stuff. For me, it doesn't feel like that. for me, it's more like, okay, from my perspective, it's all about you. If you want the golden age, you can make that golden age in your daily life. Like right now, do you have a roof over your head? Assuming, yeah, you have food to eat, you have something to drink, your country's not being attacked, hopefully. Like you're not in chaos, you have people you love and they're alive. Things like that. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm grateful for stuff. And you just have a lot of havingness. You start appreciating little things that you took for granted or never really cared about. So, like, these little things, along with what we focus on, what we do in our daily life, will bring you that golden age. Other than that, like, the earth is not going to change. The world around you won't just change one morning, you wake up and it's all different. From my opinion, it's just not going to happen like that. Like, you just literally have to work on your awareness, your consciousness, how much you know, how you feel about everything. And with greater understanding and more openness to things, you're gonna see but differently. And by that I mean, like, like just like raising your frequency, and it's not like, oh yeah, it's just gonna, like I'm gonna eat the fruit and I'm gonna be a higher frequency. Like, it takes a lot of work. So with that, like, various practices, various daily things, and yeah, your frequency, you might change, you might start seeing more, hearing more, your perception will be different, and by that, again, what you focus on, and like, you're gonna pretty much, like, access more things. But other than that, the world's not gonna change like that easily. So that's my point of view. Oh, wow. Nick is saying, hi, Kvilla, I am in Moscow, and I have never been more scared and hopeless in my life. My country's basically a criminal, and it's on North Korea now. Can you give any advice on how to not to lose my mind? Nick, I'm so sorry. First things first, as regards to the situation on Earth and what's going on between Russia and Ukraine, you have to see yourself that you and your country is not guilty of what has happened. This whole thing, war between, like, Ukraine and Russia, it is not your fault. It's a few people, just a group of people, like 20, 30, 40, and someone off planet possibly, who have more control, different ideas, different plans. They did it, not you. There's a lot of people hating Russia all of a sudden, treating it like, oh, like they're the worst. You're not. Like, you're a victim of a group that has caused it to you. That's the first thing I want to say. Like, you're not guilty of anything. I have seen a lot of videos where tons of Russians are gathering around, protesting the war, telling Putin, please don't do it. And even then, I would say, it's not just Putin's fault. He has people above him, they're ordering him around, and, just watching footages of people in Ukraine checking out the tanks and what's inside them. Like, it's literally like having Lamborghini, like this tank model. It comes into your country to scare you. Because when you get inside, it's just basically the steam machine that can barely move and get around. Like, probably, like, I don't know, like, a lot of you have seen what it looks like inside. I don't know, like, I don't want to bring up that footage because there's a lot of charge on it. But you'd have to be a fool to use that stuff. Like, most tanks that go there either end up out of fuel or they just, like, break and you can't use it. And they're like, okay, now what? So, like, there's a lot of things going wrong sideways, and I don't know, like, you'd have to be an idiot to send that crappy stuff to war. It's like one-way trip, one-way ticket. You can't get back with that. And for me, there's a lot of people that seem to support Russians going against, Putin and the current events, and then all, like, things are gonna change. It's a heavy topic, but like, again, like, yeah, Lillian goes, like, focus on yourself. You can't really control things and change the massive event, but it's gonna end. Like, seems like, I don't know, it's like really heavy topic, and for me to talk about it, I barely know anything. Like, I haven't researched that much, I haven't listened to videos. There's a lot of things that are shown to us, there's a lot of things that we can research about, but to see the whole story, like, I'm not there. Like, I'm barely, like, scratching the surface. And, like, seems like a lot of people are, like, gonna get together. Like, even, like, in North Korea, people are like, no, they don't really follow the regime, or, like, more like they don't want it, but you're just a victim of that. And following the events of, sanctions and what's going to happen afterwards with like removing Swift, with changing the economy, you just like have to focus on yourself. Like how you're going to deal with your day-to-day life. Can you survive in it all? Can you have someone to talk to, a group of people that understands you, that cares for you, and same for you. Like you literally need to have a group that literally will be there for you, as in, hey, well, here's how I feel about the current thing, and they will listen to you, and they will not judge, and they will like accept you for that. But I don't know. There's a lot of changes coming around. Like some people are gonna like, oh well, everything that's going on right now is starting the new age. All of a sudden, COVID, the pandemic, that used to be such a huge thing, doesn't exist anymore. It's like barely a thing now. And after this, we're gonna have a lot of economical things. Possible Great Reset. Is that a thing? I don't know. But yeah, continuing to what you're saying, uh, like I was saying, very soon I will have nowhere to go, no food, no shelter. Our money are worthless now, and the whole world hates us. Borders are closed. Shit, you can't get anywhere, huh? That's that's a tough one. I'm lucky, like because in this situation, like like what would I do? And I would assume, well, let's say I just have my grandparents that have done their stuff. Like they have a cottage house that I could go to. Like if Lithuania was in this situation, if we just attack someone and like now we're fucked, we can't do anything. For me, I always had this post-apocalyptic scenario of what would I do, and like that would literally be go to just get away from the main town, like go into some rural area where you might have, I don't know, your grandparents, someone from your family that might have their own house, a little bit of their land, and hopefully, hey, you have fishes, you have forests, you have little things, you have land, and just go back into the primitive fucking ways. It's like, it's really hardcore. As long as Russia doesn't disconnect the internet and still keep you, like, allow you to use little things, internet would be a thing. Hey, talk to someone. Like, right now, cryptocurrency is a thing. Because people that have lost everything, money, like, no use. Again, like, Bitcoin. Yeah, good luck buying Bitcoin. I've been, like, researching, like, possible, like, loopring. It's still a very, very touchy, shaky thing. But considerably, like, like, might be a thing. It's still a cheap ass thing to buy right now. In 10 years, if you will survive by then, like, you might have a few bucks by then. Damn, not being able to pay. I don't know, like, for now, it's like wait it out. Wait it out, because, like, all these sanctions is connecting you from the rest of the world, so to speak. You're gonna have to find a way, like, I don't know, like, your own currency, what the government will do with all that. I don't know. Cutting off from the internet. I don't like people. What you do? What would you do in that scenario? Let's say, okay, you don't have a roof anymore, or you're gonna lose it. The thing with currency, money, you're not gonna have it anymore. Internet, you might be disconnected as well because the rest of the world is propaganda, and your country saying this is what we're saying is true, and the rest of the world is like they're all against us. So you shouldn't even consider all that. Like I assume it would be like that hardcore. It's close to North Korea where it's like all censorship. You can't have a different opinion, so to speak. So yeah, pretty much like trapped in that kind of case. What would you do? Because like for me, like I can think of ways, but I will not be able to understand your situation fully, Nika. Like like oh yeah, I know how you feel. No, I don't. No, we're close. I never had those threats. I never been in that situation. I'd be freaking like I don't know, like I'd be freaking out. I could not be streaming or doing anything. I'd be like, okay, how do I fucking survive? And it's not fun. It's I don't know, like literally like waiting out. To me, like seems like Russia will have to back off, considering like if you can't take their state like Ukraine in 3 days, you're pretty much like fucked. Uh, Seems like U.S. successfully will connect themselves from their own, like like I don't know, like gas and oil and everything else. They won't need Russia's help anymore. Well, that's the thing. Like this mindset, no one will help us because for the whole world we are Nazis now. Not everyone thinks that way. I've seen a whole lot of people that support Russians and understand how helpless they are because it's not your doing. like, is generalizing, because like not all Russians are bad. There's a group of people who are acting in a bad way that's causing you all to look bad, but it doesn't mean that the rest of the world will hate you. So I don't know, like I can't talk for the whole world. Like, oh yeah, don't worry, it's all gonna be fine. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like just giving you solutions and everything else. Like for now, like yeah, time will tell. Talk it out, express yourself. It's really hardcore. I don't know, like I don't know what to say. Or something. The war is a distraction for the vaccine. That's like yeah. Like right now, COVID is not a thing anymore. Not really. I mean, they might bring it back. Like oh yeah, another kind of flu thing, seasonal thing, and more control. But right now we're gonna have the whole plan economics. Like I don't know. Like if you can take care of yourself for the like next few months, that'll be great because only then in 2, 3, 4, 6 months we're gonna see what was gonna happen next. Like economics will change, different sanctions. One thing to remember about sanctions, it's like similar to having your kid on house arrest, but you can't watch them 24/7. Like, oh yeah, you can't leave the house. At some point, as a parent, you have to go to the store. You have to go somewhere else. You have to do something. So you're gonna leave the house and you're not gonna see your kid for an hour or two. So the whole world dropping sanctions on Russia, like you can't fly anywhere, you can't leave, like you're disconnected from like SWIFT and like banking transactions and all this stuff. A lot of things. You can't watch it 24/7. There's like definitely like black markety things and just going around it. It's been happening a lot with other countries. So I would assume Russians are smart enough to find a way to go around it. But if Uncle Biden with his friends was smart enough like to foresee it, he really sank Russia. All of the things that happened, like it really sank down really hardcore. Like right now, like I was like talking to my dad this morning, and he's working in the logistics as a manager. So one of his things, he works with Russia. All like his job, like all of the trucks are going to Russia. He's still sending trucks, like still was working today, but it's gonna be canceled soon. Like okay, no more trading or anything with Russia. Like even like Lithuania right now, they're gonna sell out all the products they were buying from Russia and no more, nothing else. So it's literally like what Russia's gonna have to pull off is gonna be something similar with what UK did back in the I don't know like how to call it. The times when they went with like revolutionary things and advancements in technology and their own coal and everything else. So Russia's gonna have to work really hard on that. But I don't know. Yeah, like I hear what you're saying. It's really hard to think of yourself as God because right now you've never felt this scared and hopeless, and I have no idea what's gonna happen to you now. That's the thing. Like there are times and days where like you can give yourself like okay, you're great, you're superior being, you're God, you're everything else, and blah blah blah, all the amazing words to make you feel great, and then you're gonna have some time to breathe, and you're gonna have some time to just like focus on what you want when reality is not messing with you. But when shit happens, it's like you really have to take care of the present time problems. Like right now, I couldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna do a quick scan and tell you how amazing you are and stuff that happened to you in past life if I'm feeling like crap. Like I'm just gonna put it onto you as well. So like, yeah, don't even try acting like I'm God, I can do everything, because that's not what you're feeling and that's not what you're gonna manifest. So it would be like a little bit of waste of time, no matter how hard you try. But yeah, just focusing on your basic needs. Like right now, I don't know, like you would be making a list of what do you need to do to survive. Like make your escape plan. Where would you go? You have a shelter now, but how much money do you need? How can you survive and everything else? Like a little list of things you need to do daily. And I assume there's a whole lot of people feeling like you are. There's a whole lot of people depressed and now what? We're losing everything. And from that, I would just say like basic human needs. What do you need to do to feel like you can survive? Like you have the basics provided, having a shelter, food, water, and all this stuff. Most people, don't have that problem. we're taking it for granted. You, on the other hand, now it's like a thing. So while you can, before it's even canceled, just provide more to yourself so that you would have backup. I would say, that's maybe that apocalyptic scenario. Waiting it out, like there's gonna be quite a few months until things settle down and you're gonna have more information, more knowledge, because right now it's in the unknown. Like there's a lot of like, okay, big thing happening, no solutions yet. You might find a solution. Russia might try to find a friend or two or something. We'll see. Other than that, after you feel this sort of like, okay, I can survive, then it's like little things of taking care of yourself. So that you would do a little practice of yourself to, gratitude is like good luck with that. But to have more confidence, to feel like you have something to live for, good luck with that. Finding little goals in life. Like, okay, I have a shelter, little things on feeling better every day. Not like focus on the positive. Not in that scenario. I hear ya. Fuck survival, right? Fuck playing this game. It's like so much. A lot of people are like trying to like, okay, grow up, go to school, get a job, get married, have a family, the system and everything else, and pay mortgages, pay taxes and everything else. A lot. For me, like, it's easy to talk. I'm not living in Russia. I'm not in your situation. I literally wouldn't know what to do. I would have an escape plan, but I'd be like trusting most of the people in my life. Like, okay, grandparents have a cottage house. We have our own little land, we have our own pond, we have fishes, we have forest and potatoes. Great, possible things to survive, but just tell me that all these things will be okay on your side. 100%. Like, that's something you don't have to worry about from my side, because like your current problems, your focus and everything else is just for this physical body. And this is the body's case. Once you let go of physical body, your whole worries, your mindset, your, whatever happened to this physical body won't be there anymore. You're free. You're free of this whole case. So you can definitely get away now. But while here, good luck. Just literally try to wait it out. A lot of panic in Lithuania too. Like for me, I have my basics provided. I don't feel like, I'm not panicking. Like World War III won't happen because someone else, like third party, tries to step in. We have nuclear bombs. It's too easy to go there. But, for little things, I don't know, like, not that focus. You know what your home is, but you hope like it's real. Okay. One thing, I don't know, Nika, would you like to connect to your home right now? Like all of us, if you want to, we can try to do this little visualization thing where you can actually connect to that place. And of course, with the current thing you're feeling, it's gonna be a bit harder, but we can try. Like right now, just all of you, if you want to join this thing, like take a few deep breaths. Like try to just with me for a few minutes. You don't have to let go of your world and current time problems, but just for now. Just for now, like relax, at least a little bit, and take a few deep breaths. Like, and allow yourself to take a few deep breaths, to just feel your body, feel the air coming into your lungs, filling you up, letting it out. Do this a few times. And as you do this, as you get a few deep breaths, close your eyes if it helps. Just relax, at least a little bit. And with that, tell yourself, anyone that's in my space right now, anyone that is feeling annoyed and anxious and frustrated and scared, any entities, and even beingness of mind is really hardcore scared and not feeling good, you have permission to leave. All of these entities, all of the beings in my space that are here against their own free will, or here with me, helping me out, you have permission to leave and you can go. And with that, in your own words, you don't have to repeat word after word with me, but the idea would be like, a lot of things that are happening right now, it's a scare thing. is gonna affect you. And with that, illusion and everything else, yeah, good luck not feeling the dark side. But you're gonna have some entities and beings jumping into your space, and just amplifying your feelings in a negative way. So you can give your permission to leave, like for them, so that they could go and leave you alone. As you just give the permission, imagine, let's say, this little box right in front of you. And you can just think, like, use your hands, assume like anyone that's in your space, that's not feeling good, that is scared, that is annoyed, you name it. Little things around you that are annoying you and getting in the way. Let's say, for me, it's maybe not being able to talk clearly, not being able to give enough of myself to you, not being able to inspire, or let's say, feeling scared, feeling like you can't do anything, feeling like there's no hope, feeling helpless and hopeless and everything else. You just put it all in the box. Use your hands to grab it and put it in the box. Imagine little things just filling that box with all of these, let's say, entities, thoughts, feelings that are not serving you, little events, like even the whole situation with Russia is hated. Russia is hated. Put it in the box. Everyone sees Russia as like, we're Nazis, we're hated, I have no hope. And you put all of those things in the box. Name everything, think of everything that's getting in the way, messing with your life, interrupting you, and just put it in the box, like fill it up. It can be expanding and like it can be massive. If you don't like the shape of the box, you can think of the ball or a sphere or a crystal, anything that you like. And as you fill up this box, think of disconnecting and sort of cutting off the top and bottom. It's no longer a thing. You close off and cut off the sides, front and back. A lot of these situations and entities within our life, we're connected to it. Emotionally, physically. So you just think of this cord that's attached to your body. And you touch it, you grab it, and you pull it out. Situation in Russia, in Ukraine, feeling threatened, feeling the unknown and having all those things, you disconnect yourself. Pull it out, unplug yourself from those things. A lot of these things, emotions and all this stuff. Even, let's say, entities. Okay, man, entities. Scared entities. They're all scared. And you disconnect yourself from them. Just pull the cords away, cut them if you want. A lot of ways to do it. It's all up to your imagination. You don't have to do exact step by step how I say it, but just be creative. And just pull those things away. Even the hate of the world. The whole world, the entire world from your perspective hates you and hates Russia. You put it in that box. You disconnect yourself from them. And as you have this box and you disconnect it, think of this, galactic vacuum. This vortex of energy is going to take it away. You just send this box away, or you burn it, or you destroy it, or you uncreate it, but just remove it all. Like this box with a lot of entities and negative feelings and everything else that's in your life that's getting in the way, that's making you feel bad, destroy it. Completely. And as you have a moment, take a few deep breaths, and all the energy that was used from you, all the things that you have lost, think of using all that energy and essence that you've had, let it go through the filter. Let it sort of like take away all the bad stuff, and sort of allow this good, healing, calm energy fill you up. Take a few moments just to, okay, this is my essence, this is who I am, the calmness, the godlike being, the empowered one, the one that feels safe, the one that has certainty about tomorrow. And you just fill yourself up with that energy. And you have it. And now, you can create your own pocket realm. Or your own home. That place where you feel like you want to go after your physical body dies. That place where you want to go where, when all the things are happening, you just want to escape to. The place that makes you feel like you're safe, like you're good, like you have everything. So just create your visuals. This is your own little realm, and it can look like anything you like. It can have a cottage cabin in the mountains. It can be something similar to Californian or Hawaiian beach. It can be your favorite forest or sidewalk or anything else, but you just create your own space. And after you do that, think of yourself. That is the God. your sovereign self that can do everything. Allow that beingness to enter that space that you have created. That is you. The part of you that is not here on earth, the part of you that is free and can do absolutely everything. And as you see that part, feel the energy. Feel the confidence it has, the freedom, the knowing, the love. Say hello. And you can even come close and hug that part of yourself. It's you. It's the you that's not trapped on earth. So hug it, touch it, feel it. Look at the details of that body, at your sovereign self. How do you look like? How tall are you? What does your hair look like? Your eyes? Are you wearing any clothes? And you just pay attention to those details, to the essence of who you truly are. And you can ask, hey, is there anything I need to know? Is there anything that I need to remember? Is there anything I need to focus on? And as you ask these questions, you're asking it to your own sovereign self, to yourself, to your consciousness that knows it all, experiences all, is everything and nothing all at once. And all the answers you need are within you. So this is you, the greater you, the you that you know, that is free, that is not limited, that's infinite. You have all the answers. And just allow yourself to connect with that aspect of yourself that's not limited, that's not affected by this world, that is free, that is infinite, that can do everything, that can create anything, that has the infinite love. And just, allow that part to sort of give you those feelings. Just as you hug, sort of become a bit immersed in that essence and beingness. And you can even have this chat with this being of yourself, with your sovereign self. Ask any questions like, why am I here? What am I going to do? How can I deal with the situation? Do you have a solution for your own problem or anything else? You can have a conversation and you can get a better knowing. You can remember things that you have forgotten. And as you have this conversation, sort of think of yourself in the perspective of your sovereign self. Leave your physical body and look from the eyes of your sovereign self. And think of the best moment you've had in your entire existence. Best moment where you were the creator. You were doing what's fun. You were doing anything you wanted and could. And just allow yourself to sit in that moment of the best feeling you've had. That pleasure. And just take your time to sort of feel it for a bit. And that's literally all it takes for you to sort of take a few deep breaths, relax, connect to your own place that you have created, connect to your own sovereign self, and there you have it. You can do exactly the same after you die. You saw your place, and you can go there after death. This can be your reality. This can be your home. And it's all it takes. It's to just give yourself a few minutes to relax, to visualize it, see it, and experience the moment. That's all. So, for those that have followed a few of these steps, you can just mute me, turn off the thing, and allow yourself to just connect with that beingness of yourself, connect to your realm, explore it a little bit. But that's about it. That's how easy it is. That's the whole method. Just jump into it. Think of the best moments of things, you want to ask and find out and know. And there you have it. So hopefully with this, Nika, you can have a moment of seeing your afterlife. Hey, once I leave Earth, how does my home look like? Yes, Nika, please email me. Even right now, I wouldn't mind, popping into, I don't know, as soon as I can. If you want to talk, write me. I'm here for you. You don't have to pay. I'll do a freebie with you. It's a hardcore situation. And I will never understand what you feel. To be yeah, I know, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, but I'm here if you want someone to talk to, if you want me to listen and just be there for you and share a few little things that might, answer your questions or give you some, better feeling state, I'm here for you. Like, I know, like, a lot of people are, like, there to give help to Ukraine, especially, like, from Lithuania, like, they're, like, volunteer people and all this stuff, but who's there to help Russia, right? So, I'm here for you. No worries. And yeah, email me like while you can, while we're here live. I'm gonna check if I got your email. I'll get to you ASAP while we're on stream so that I would know that like everything's working. And that being said, I'm just gonna scroll back up and see if I can answer a few more questions or give you anything, anything that can work. Hey Nika, it's my pleasure. Like, it's the least I can do in this situation. It's the least I can do. And I'd be really happy if I can give anything, my time and attention, if that's all you need. And of course you'll need more than that, but I'm here for you. So, Lamash is saying, Aquila, why do demonic beings wait around the astral to take over people's bodies to cause chaos? Why don't they just incarnate and have their own bodies? Is it because they fear being stuck? Before I answer this great question, Nika, my email is aquilasava@yahoo.com. Basically, this username of my YouTube, aquilasava, and then at yahoo.com. Yeah, and check out the video description. I think it should be in the video description as well. Like, I'm just gonna turn on my YouTube channel, see if it's there, and if you can get it. Let's see. Okay, I have myself on YouTube. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you're on your phone or if you are on the PC, but under the video description, like where is this Aquila Sava, then you can look at the information. And so I'm gonna have my email there, Facebook, Twitch, Patreon, Patreon, Reddit, Twitter, Discord, I don't know, like various things, whatever works for you. I'm here, alright? If you need my Skype, it's Aquila X1, so yeah, you can try that. Alright, coming back to the question of Lamash 2, saying, okay, why do demonic beings wait around the astral to take over people's bodies to cause chaos? And why don't they just incarnate and have their own bodies? Is it because they fear being stuck? Yeah, as regards these, like, demonic beings, it's, like, again, like, very generalized group. Because demonic beings can, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of kinds, like humans, tall and small and different colors and different sexes and everything else. So with all that, there's a lot of beings that are so suppressed and have lost the essence where they don't really have the control and they can't even get or possess the body. They're like little cactus spike that will attach to you, that will, get in your space, but they can't really possess the body. They have no possibility. Other demonic beings, they're having fun. It's like literally having a video game character or a beingness that like, hey, well, I've been a good guy enough, or I don't like the role. I want to be the Darth Vader. I want to be, the villain. And it's fun. It's fun it's fun seeing people being tortured and all the stuff. Just different characteristics, different types. And that's their thing. That's their game. They don't want to incarnate. They don't want to experience a human life. They're having much more fun triggering you. They don't want a vehicle. They already have one. It's basically like a consciousness in the demon body, or like a program run in that little aspect. So there's no wants or needs for them to get a human experience, because it's going to be like pretty much like even more suppressing than what they have. So that's my point of view. Like, it's, they have no need or want to have a physical human body. Being stuck would be one thing for them, but it's just much more fun playing from afar. And I'm gonna take my time. Nika, I've got your email. Yes. I'm taking my time to write back Nika. Okay. Nika, I've sent you email back. So if that goes through, we can definitely plan on meeting up and go from there. Honey Badger is asking, what would be the equivalent of baseball bat in the Astral if you have to smack someone or something? It's up to your creativity. You can just imagine this massive club, but because there are no rules, that club can be ginormous, like a skyscraper. You just that big, so that it would be big enough to have the planet look like a baseball ball, and your club is like good enough to hit it and have it flying. Like you can play with sizes and variations. So hopefully that'll give you an idea. But yeah, no limits there. It's all up to your creativity. It's all how you want to play. You can have a machine gun. You can have, like if you watched anime or played video games or watched movies and you've seen people with superpowers, you can manifest it right away. You can use kung fu or like martial arts plus magic and, use your own thing. So play around, see what happens. Andromeda is saying, I think I've been tricked by same galactic federation of flight to do their work. Really? Why do you think so? Like, what are some of the signs you find? Like, what are some of the work you're doing for that group, and how do you identify as that? It's totally possible. You know, that's one group, and some of them can really mess with people. I'm just taking my time reading comments and what everyone's saying. I scrolled back up to where it all started so that if I missed anything, I might answer more questions. Hey guys, Nico, you too. We did this level of visualization thing. I just had a thought. The same way you create your own home and you connect your sovereign self, you can literally create this little place like a court, like an office room, and just pick people responsible for what happened to you and your situation and maybe the world. But don't like necessarily point fingers at the people with big names and the president title, but you can actually go with who's above you, who's your leader, and like if they have entities, if they have controllers beyond Earth, because that's the game's gonna be played not just on Earth, so you can invite the being controlling things from afar, affecting your current situation, and just connect to your sovereign self. And from that aspect, you can have a Q&A, like little, why are you doing this? Why me? Why humanity? Why this country? What do you want? And what am I to you? Did I do something to you? Do we have any common agreements or things in common? And stuff like that. So that you would understand the situation better between you and that being and what's going on, so that you're like, okay, I get it. It's a bigger scale or not, and you can just have a different perspective And once that happens, the same method with removing entities from your space, allowing them to, like, giving them agreement to leave, having the little box method, for example, or even using your own creativity, your own ways of destruction and everything else, you can just focus on that being and get him out of your space. But literally, the whole way things are happening right now, you can use your visuals, and the same way you were able to connect to your home place, you can use that to target certain people. Like, I've did that, but not in certain groups that are causing this current event. So, if enough of us, let's say, would do like, okay, all of us will do this meeting, and everyone's gonna use their visualization to connect to certain groups and target them and get them out of their space. Let's see what happens on there the next day or in the upcoming weeks and all. Like that like we could totally like organize that if few people are interested. It's too easy to just do this little guided meditation thing, guided out of body thing, and your God, your visuals are superpower, and take 10 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, an hour throughout the day to just work on this little thing. Little, right? And just see what happens. So it's a possibility. If you people are like interested in trying this out, we can totally like arrange that. Nika, you're not alone. I'm just happy that you're able to, like find your time and just connect here, and hopefully get something from this. And please, like, we're gonna arrange time for you and me to connect and just talk about things and see where things can go from there. But you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. So the Andromeda is saying, Aquila, what do you think people being born in the infinite future timelines and being sent here? Okay, wait. What do you think people being born though? There's a few words missing. What do you think of people being born in the infinite future timelines and being sent here to the present and past? I mean, it's not necessarily them being sent here. I mean, like, sure, there will be some people who might be messed with. I've seen it happen with a few clients. But another thing is, like, there's a lot of people right now who have this passion for, let's say, medieval times. They love Western times in America. Like, oh, I wish I could be a cowboy. It seems so fun. Or they look at medieval times like, I would, like, so great to be a warrior and just, like, experience that period of time. A lot of people have this affinity with certain periods and events throughout the world, and just because of that they could literally, let's say physical body dies and they're like, I'm gonna come back on Earth, but I'm gonna choose a different period of time and just, either be that person or live in that time. A lot of people do that. This is why, like, so many, like, let's say after reincarnations, or not necessarily being on Earth, but not necessarily being on this Earth, but there can be parallel Earths where they're not as messed up, or you can have your own, let's say, your own kind of Earth. You just, like, the same way you create your own pocket realms and your own realms and universes, you can create your own version of Earth, and maybe not allow any other third-party groups to control it or mess with it, but you like the certain period of times and events, and you're like, this is gonna be my version, and you're just gonna play a game on your own Earth in your own ways, and you still have the godlike powers, and you can manifest like little things and play around and just, let's say, be like the programmer working on a game. And what's gonna happen if I add more horses or change it up and just play it out a few times? So that's totally possible. Andromeda is asking, like, really, can a source incarnate into a humanoid human in a flesh? Yes, Andromeda, this is exactly what you are. From my perspective, the source is simply consciousness. People want to come back to the source. It's not a place, it's the feeling state, it's the knowingness. So, as your consciousness, let's say physical body drops dead or you get out of body, you want to connect to that source, be in there, be in that infinite happiness and stuff. But what happens, like, you leave Earth, all your problems of this physical body go away because entities, your worries, your issues, and other things, it's attached to the physical body. When it's not there, when your physical body dies or you're out of body, the case is no longer there. There is no more thinking. It's very quiet. It's knowingness, it's perception. You see things and you know and you understand. It's not like, I wonder what it is. It doesn't happen like that. You know. You have perception. It's very quiet within. You don't really think and chat it up. And so, being that source, well, what is source to you? If you think of it like, well, it feels really good when you're in there and you know it all, you have this massive knowingness. It's consciousness. It doesn't have a body. It doesn't have a physical shape. It's just perception, awareness. And in it all, you have everything. You are everything and nothing all at once. You don't have any beingness or like physical shape, but you know everything. Your emotions are way more, let's say, empowered or amplified. You have this infinite love. You have the true feelings that you might not feel here on Earth. And in that, you just know it all. So yeah, can a source incarnate here on Earth or be a human in the flesh? Yeah, that's totally what you are right now. Ozeon is asking, do you think they'd press a nuke if it was their last option? No. I'll tell you this. From my perspective, there's a lot of beings we're not aware of and we're not seeing here on Earth that will not allow the war to happen. There should have been a few nukes flying around. There should have been a few bombs. Even the whole thing with Fukushima, there's been third parties and they're not from Earth and they're clearing it up. They don't want the wars. There's a lot of fighting going on. We don't see that. It's not being talked about. But certain groups, and I can't tell you it's Pleiadian, no. But certain individuals or groups with interest on Earth and people here, they don't want people to lose or die out. And whether it's good or bad, it can be even let's say, even dark groups. If they want to lose, they don't want their food to die out. They want to torture it slowly. So nukes cannot go in any way because they would kill off all the food, and why waste it? It's just not going to happen. But again, it's my perception, my experience. So, Slave is saying, some say Putin is targeting human trafficking centers. I don't know. Yeah, it's totally valid theory. I haven't looked into it, so I couldn't confirm and so. But hey, it's happening all over the world, massively. Totally a thing. It's totally a thing. Another thing to look at, if U.S. would get their fingers, if you have friends like U.S., you don't need enemies, so to speak. So if they get their hands on Ukraine, it would be just 5 minutes to 35 minutes for a Tomahawk missile to go from Ukraine to Moscow. Or, other ways around. There's a whole pipeline and, let's say, oil and everything else. Right now, just, America's trying to be very connected to, I don't know, East countries. More Muslim East countries, so to say. And I can't tell, my geographical knowledge isn't the best. But the place where U.S. is getting a lot of their oil is totally a thing for them. So it wouldn't be good if, Russians were providing everyone, which is what they're trying to do, disconnect everyone in that way. So it's just a dick move on Russia, so to speak, by U.S. and other certain countries, European Union isn't any better. It's later really corrupt. So it's just fucking with people in a massive way. JJ, thank you for your $20. Man, that's really appreciated. Scotty Boy saying, I see all that is happening as a blessing in disguise. We want change, this is change. Pretty much. Pretty much. People were so tired of COVID and pandemic and being like, I don't know, lockdowns. Well, things are gonna change for sure. And like Scotty says, I love Russia and Ukraine and I remain neutral on this whole thing, ups and downs for both sides. Pretty much. Like there's a lot of groups messing it all up, and a lot of people, normal people, are suffering. And we're the normal people. We're like, understand, like, hey, you're not guilty for what's happening. It's just like some old fools with their agendas are, just torturing everyone else. That's all it is. Remote View is asking, do you have a technique to identify someone's primary originating star and star family? Well, yes and no, because from my perception, there is no like really, well, primary, like yeah, like totally, like we don't have one and only place. It's not like, oh, you came from the Pleiadians, you came from Lyrans, you came from Syrians and Nordic Alliance and other parties. Like it doesn't work like that. You have been existing for billions of years. You've had tons of lives. You've experienced everything, the good and the bad. You've been on the good side playing with like a lot of good groups. You've been with reptilians. You might have been with Anunnaki. You might try out the bodies and not really engage in certain events. You might have been playing in the 4D, 5D in different dimensions and not the physical. And with all that being said, with everything you've tried out, the same way on Earth you have the beingness about yourself where, okay, you are empathic, you like to learn, you're trying to get better, you like to help people, so you have this beingness about yourself that is your core, and it wouldn't change when you leave. And that is what you connect yourself with, that's how you identify yourself for a beingness of time. And if there's a group matching that, and kind of like fits your ideals, fits how you are, you pretty much like spend quite a long time with them. Just like, okay, well, here on Earth, you have people you can relate to and you have a family, and you're going to hang out with them for 20 years, 30, 40, 50, doesn't matter. But out there, thousands of years is easy enough. It just goes in the blink of an eye for us. So, I would just say that, like, just find a group that you feel more connected to, and you can pretty much tell, like, yeah, I've spent more than one lifetime with them. But that being your only or original thing, no, because consciousness is infinite and it doesn't really start with identifying and starting from a physical body point of view. It's more like, it's infinite, it can be everything. And if it thinks of that it wants to be part of this group and identify it as, and, become the body, become that, yeah, then you're going to construct yourself in this little cell and, machine, and you're going to go in, so to speak. A good Svarunian answer. You guys are funny. Because I'm like, really? Interesting. It's good to know that there's a lot of people having this awareness mindset, and, all of us are on that level. Okay. Accidental Warriors asking Aquila or anyone, how do we get out of severe depression? So, if any one of you have had depression or are still dealing with it, or have anyone in your circle that has depression, and you've heard or know of some ways how to deal with depression, please share here in the comments. Talk about it. People need help, and this time I need all that stuff. From my perspective, it's not an overnight thing. It's not like you're gonna do this one technique and all of a sudden it's gonna go away. It's a work in progress. It's every day little by little you do little things. Like, I've had depression for a long time, and I think it still comes up once in a while. Like I'm not aware of it, but my standards are, like, it can be so bad, and just a little bit above bad is my normal, you know. So I wouldn't say like, yeah, like this is what you do. But from my perspective and what I've been doing for myself, it's little everyday things. Focus on yourself first. You have to make yourself a priority. You have to, like, okay, the world, you cannot change it and control it. You can control yourself. So start with what can you control? You can control yourself, what you focus on, what you do, how you act, how you feel, and everything else. So even if you're like, okay, this is too much, turn off the news. Like, disconnect yourself from everything that's going on, even just for a day, an hour. You don't have to like be ignorant and I don't care about anything else. No, you do care a lot. But for an hour, make yourself a priority. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if you can just 1 minute, like that's a good thing. And you have to find a way to express yourself. If you have someone to talk to, great. If not, pick up a journal, a little book, and write a note to yourself. Write a letter. Maybe think of like, I have a best friend and they want to know all about me. Or write about yourself and just let it all out. You have to express yourself. You have to express how you feel. A lot of these emotions, like, it's overwhelming. And once you keep it all inside, nothing's going to change. That emotion stirred up is going to gather around and just going to build up. A lot of things. You're not seen, you're not understood, and a lot of things will build up where no one's seeing your value, no one's hearing you, no one cares about you. And when that builds up, you're going to explode. You're a ticking time bomb. So to find a minute, 5 minutes a day to just pick up a little notebook and write, like how you feel. What are you experiencing? The things you've been thinking about, like, man, it's been really hard. Like, I hate this world. I can't believe what's going on. I can't tolerate it. I hate, like, like my country's being seen as Nazis and terrorists and everyone hates us. I don't know what's going to happen next. And you're like, God, it's too much. And take your time to write it all out. I would say typing it out on a keyboard would be great, but there is some magic about writing with a pen. So it takes a bit longer. You'll have to write this, like, practice writing with your hand if you don't do it often. But there is some magic in swinging and doing your hand and using these like things, and it's gonna be like a bit more of a expression rather than just typing. Don't let your fingers move like that. Use your hand. There's a lot. And with that, okay, you found a way to express yourself. Allow yourself to either go for like a little, dessert. Award yourself. Like, you did something good. You might have maybe worked out. You might have done like 5 push-ups, 5 squats. Yay, I fucking worked out first time in the whole year. Yay, let's go. It can be like that. Go on, award yourself. You did something good. Like, we forget to award ourselves. Like, for me, like, find a rewarding thing. Do you like coffee? Do you like ice cream? Do you like chocolate? Something that works for you? Go for that. A little reward. Just allow yourself to experience that little bliss. I love fucking chocolate. I so love the chocolate. And in Lithuania, we have these curd goodies. And it's just like, it's like literally like curd with a bit of like chocolate covering and stuff. It melts in my mouth, and I'm just gonna make my morning perfect. I'm gonna have a cup of cocoa, I'm gonna have my little curd goodie, and 10 minutes of like, I love it. My tongue has been pleased. My brain has picked up and it feels happy. Yay, a little bit of dopamine, a little bit of like serotonin, and all, like, yay, that's great. Now that you've pleased yourself, you have to find little things in life that gives you confidence. Yeah, 3 push-ups, like, see, like, that's exactly the thing. Like, yeah, you have to watch your body and everything else, but in times like this, when you're feeling depressed, you have to make yourself a priority in lots of ways, and you have to reward yourself. And for me, like, I take Tony Robbins' 6 Basic Human Needs because it works. I've tried it out, and I started, like, when I was feeling depressed, when my whole world was been falling apart and I've had nothing, okay, the first human need is certainty. So, you still might have a roof over your head. You still might have some food to eat. Great. For me, I would feel better if I would make my bed. I started with, I'm gonna make my bed. Oh, look, I did something. And you have to clap your hands, like, yay, look, I made my bed. I feel great. fuck yeah, man, I made my bed. Can you believe that? And give yourself like little goals throughout the day. As simple as I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee. I'm gonna drink a glass of water. That's a goal. Simple things. Don't go over the board. Simple things. You did that. Take a win. Hey, I decided to do something and I did it. Look at me. I achieved my goal. And it creates like, humans are competitive. So once you reach your little thing, hey, you did it. Take a check mark. You're like, yay. Little things like that. Working out, moving your physical body. Try it out right now. Yeah, feeling depressed. Like, shallow breathing. Not the best bow posture and everything. Like, this life sucks. And the worse we feel, the more in this ball we get where we don't want anything. We close up. We do that. Right now, either stand up, or like, okay, your shoulders go back. You're like, yay, okay. Lift your head up. I have a double chin. Woo, wait some more. But doesn't matter. You lift your chin up. You let yourself to breathe. Breathe more. Head up. Chest back. Stand up, for example. Yeah, I'm not like fucking looking perfect, but stand up, yeah? Okay, you have this posture. You have this up. Move around a little bit. Dance around. But if you're sitting, not doing shit, you're gonna feel like shit. So, it's a little thing. Put yourself in a hero posture. Okay, 1 minute. Do I have, how stupid do I look? Pretty stupid. Doesn't matter. Okay, and just stand in that for a minute. 30 seconds. Allow yourself to take that hero position. Head high. You don't have to feel great. You don't have to think shit. You don't have to prove it to anyone. But just 10 seconds, 30 seconds. Just do that. That alone makes your body chemistry work. Okay, you got some breathing. You got a better posture. Are you depressed now? Well, it's not a chronic thing. It comes and goes. The more we focus on our habits, how we act and feel and think daily, we're gonna stay in that thing. So you literally have to change up your habits. Right now, stand up, dance around for a second. Hey, I know, I've been watching that stuff. I've been watching Tony Robbins. Not too much, but certain things are really helping. Right now, I'm taking, hey, I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling like shit. I have to come on YouTube and make a video. I have to come here and I don't know what to talk about, but how do I give you any value? And I use Tony Robbins things because it lifts me up and somehow I can pull it off. And, I'm not the best, but it works. A little bit here at the time. For example, before I start my stream, okay, no idea what I'm going to talk about. I feel like, what? How do I give anything to you? And I'm going to do my posture. I'm going to dance around a little bit. I'm going to go okay, it doesn't matter me, it doesn't matter. Fuck me. But I have to use my beingness, my essence to give something to you. And when I put you way above me and just serve you somehow, even this, getting out of the depression, it's not an overnight thing, but a little bit. Is there a yoga course on No, I don't have a yoga course, but yeah, come on. Really, will you watch my crappy video file upload? Yes, please, send it to me. I'm gonna watch it. I can make a reaction video. I can make a reaction video to your video. There we go. But little things like that, you feel depressed, you add little goals, you find ways to express yourself. Expressing yourself is such an important thing. I had no idea my entire life. I've been a quiet little thingy, never talking about myself. So for me to hey, someone listens to me, all of you watch my video, and you're actually non-judgmental, you're here for me, it feels fucking awesome. I'm really grateful. So it's a big thing for me. And little things throughout the day, just little goals, little exercises. We are, or most of us are looking for techniques that will change our life like that. But it eventually all comes down to basics. People, where is your water? Do you have your water nearby? If you're at home, if you have water, take some time, take a moment to drink some water. 3 sips of water. Go on. Not coffee, not tea, not juice, water. It's a simple thing like that. And it's silly, but breathing, drinking water, moving around, little goes throughout the day, And you do it constantly, every day, little by little. You don't have to feel great, but if you practice it, you're building a muscle. Because when things like that happen, it's overwhelming. It's too much. And we fall out. Like, yeah, you might have been taking care of yourself, but one day you don't eat your apple a day. And it becomes easier to just, okay, maybe tomorrow, I'll have cake, or maybe tomorrow I won't work out, or maybe tomorrow is the other thing, and, it's just not gonna work. So every day you do little things to help yourself. DDR master. Okay, that's pretty cool. So yeah, little things. Just build your muscle. Simple techniques. It's like learning martial arts. Sometimes there are like 4 or 5 key basic things that you have to master, and you can win any fight. And you don't need any special techniques that will take you years to master and everything else. None of that. So, yeah. I don't know, like for me, I'm still learning. I'm still learning to love myself. Recently, like, I injured my back, like, while working out. So when that happened, I'm like, oh shit, like, I know how bad it feels when my teeth are hurting or something else. So I'm like, okay, I have to work on myself, put myself as a priority. And even like recently I've been to that Yumeho therapy. They folded me like an origami. It was the weirdest thing because I don't allow people close to me. I'm very like, we can be friends over a distance. You have to be really, really good to me, or like, I have to trust you enough to allow you so close to me. So when that happens, me being folded and everything else, my body like felt amazing. Like I've never had those releases, and I've realized a lot of my scoliosis, my posture, and everything that I am, there's been a lot of bullying in school. There's been a lot of stuff that built up, and I just had to close up. And everything I was, that little confidence as a kid, that like kids are innocent and they're not programmed by the world yet, and they have that love, they have honesty, they're eager, they have it all. And when crap happens, you close yourself up. So for me, like even like, okay, hey, the guy told me that I'm walking like a robot. I literally have to walk and move my back because I've been walking like this. Like I barely move. I literally have to move to size right now. So for me, I'm learning how to walk again. Every time my dog takes me for a walk, I'm learning how to put my feet and like, okay, look, I'm moving to sides. I'm doing a thing. I'm learning how to breathe differently. And it's everyday practice. I'm learning how to be human. Like it's funny, but everyday things. It's like a muscle. So that's my perception, like depression is not something easy to beat. It's not an overnight thing. There's a lot of effort that goes in, but you have to start very, very simple, very small. And every single thing you do for yourself is a win. And once you build yourself up to, you feel enough, like you feel like, hey, I've made my bed. Good for me. I actually took a shower and I put clothes that I like to wear. I feel comfortable. I like looking at myself in the mirror. Things like that make you feel good. And then, you have a perfume. Great, use that. You have a tie you like to wear. Use that. You like food you like to eat. Go for it. And with those little thingies, you build yourself up to where I feel good enough to do something for people. And maybe if I can serve you somehow. For me, great. I have a YouTube channel. I can actually talk to you, and you're listening to me. Oh my god, that feels great. And that, like, like contributing to someone feels freaking awesome. So, yeah. Exactly, like what Riley's saying. I think we get addicted to our depression too. Like, it becomes comfortable. Exactly. This is our comfort zone. Things happen, and we get into that place where we feel like shit. We feel like it becomes a habit. You try to change something, you try to get better, you try to work on yourself, and shit's gonna happen because you will not allow yourself to go higher. Your standard is feeling like shit, feeling a bit depressed, worrying, anxiety, and once you start getting better, achieving more in life, you will sabotage yourself. Your brain will work differently, you'll say stupid things will slip out of your hands, and somehow problems will appear where you're gonna lose everything because that greatness is not your standard. That standard, your brain tells like, hey, nah, Billy, you're used to being all fucked up. You're used to being depressed. What the hell are you doing up there feeling happy? Go back down. And your brain will sabotage you. You're unconsciously going to attract things in your life that will, make it all fall apart. So you constantly have to work on getting better and making your standard better. When it's not bad enough. Where it's actually like, hey, I enjoy living. I enjoy life. So, like Yo was saying, I have realized I like being depressed. Well, there you go. There you go. So, like, a lot of takes on it. It's not an overnight thing. It's a habit. And same way with, like, it's a habit sitting like that. You've been feeling depressed, like, well, change your posture. Boom. And you go like that. And change your posture. Boom. Like, so it's a workout. You have to, like, kind of hit yourself, push yourself, little things like that. But it's practical. Very practical little things. It's all about how you feel and how you act. You have to move your body. You have to do certain things. Just get out of your comfort zone to dance around for 5 seconds while no one sees. Give yourself a high five in the mirror every time you look at yourself. And go in front of the mirror and give yourself a high five. So, it's little things. Accidental War is saying, like, Villa, I'm trying to find a way, or like I'm struggling to find anyone like-minded in England, and nobody to talk to, nobody to interview. And if I could collaborate with you one day, if anyone wants to make videos with me, I'm up for it. Just hit me up on email, on any social media where I can see you, and I'm here for you. Totally. Like, if you want to talk to me about anything, I'm here for you. If you want to use me for promotion, go for it. And, hey, I'm here for you. If you want me to promote your YouTube channel, let me know. I'll put it up in the comments. I'll make a video about it. Let's go. I'm here for you. There we go. Dance music and karaoke mics. Exactly, like, we have to find some times to allow ourselves to play around. Like, turn on your favorite song, dance around, sing. No one sees, sing in the shower, do little things, but take it whenever you can. And just saying, I got your email. I'll read it pretty soon. So, yeah, emails are going through. If anyone else has issues contacting me, like, please feel free to write right now. Because I've had some issues and, like, I'm still dealing with some people, but, yeah. Okay, lovely people, so I guess another question or two, and I'm gonna start wrapping it up, focusing on other things and writing back to Nika and everything else. But, yeah, like, if I can be of any service to you right now, let's go for it. Like, give me some of your questions and all, and I'll try to give anything back. Accidental War is saying, like, I just want to talk about aliens. Good for you. Like, what kind of aliens do you want to talk about? Like, pick any, I don't know, like, and would you like to, like, have an interview and discuss, or just share what you know, what you think, how you perceive things, and, just go with it. But, great topic. Like, for me, sometimes I'm like, I've talked about Ubis too much. I've talked about certain topics too much. And then I'm like, meh, I'm just gonna talk about it again, in a different way, maybe. So, yeah. Julia saying, you wrote an email but got no answer. Please write again. I'll try to get back to you ASAP. And while we're here on stream, hopefully, so that I could see you and make sure you get it. The Northern Spirit is asking my thoughts about, ongoing war and all this stuff. And I've kind of talked about it in the beginning or somewhere in the middle and just a little bit. But I think this whole topic is big, and I would need to learn more, different perspectives, things that are going on. It's economics, it's cover-ups, it's human trafficking, and much more than that. It's not that simple, but at the same time, we've sort of been through it. It's a bit triggering to certain people, and I want to make sure that as I'm finishing and wrapping up the stream, I sort of want to end it on a higher note, or the feeling better, or something to be more inspiring, or maybe more hopeful, more, like, hey, just a little chill, nice note instead of, and it's really bad and it's gone down kind of thing. So I'm sorry about that. Accidental War is asking, what kind of music do I like? Lately, I've been listening to this synthwave, retrowave, and really, going with it. But classic rock and anything that I like, like whatever pops up from, let's say Metallica and AC/DC and Genesis and Elton John and Phil Collins, and then we go with Hans Zimmer and I don't know, like Ludovico Einaudi, if that's his name, Jan Tiersen, and you just name it. I'm all over the place. So whatever pops up, whatever I feel like jamming with. Wow, accidental contacts and UFOs and photo evidence. This is freaking great. Okay, I'm like, hold up. I'm gonna get like, right now I'm on my Streamlabs, so I don't really see your channels, but I'm just gonna pop to, or see if I can pop to your YouTube channel, or send me a link. Like, send me an email with a link to your video. Actually, gotcha. Found ya. I found your YouTube. Hold up, people. Hold up. Where is it? Let's make it a thingy. I'm gonna turn myself off, and I'm working on this lovely settings. People, Accidental Warrior, our new YouTuber. Check out her channel. Check it out. She has lots of videos. We're gonna support our common fellow YouTubers. We're gonna watch the videos. We're gonna make some reaction videos. Check out our channel, people. If any one of you want, me to mention you, hey, go for it. Just 1 year ago. I'm looking forward to your new uploads. So there. We're gonna go into some different topics. Jonathan is saying, I don't listen to music because it triggers my third eye. In which way? Is it like opening up your third eye, or is it getting in the way where you don't have visuals and all? Here, Gressel with $50. Damn, man. Just popping in. Hope you're doing well. Poland is getting a lot of visitors these days. Good luck with that. I hope they're good fellow visitors that are gonna be like, kind and appreciative and grateful, and take care of you just the same way you take care of other people. So it's a big thing. Okay, I'm refreshing my email if anyone writes. Okay, Julia, I got your email. Got your email. Okay, Julia, I sent you an email. If you're gonna get it back, good. So there. Oh, my Accidental War is saying that she quit making videos because of accusations that she was a Satanist and helping AI and all this stuff. Oh boy. I get a lot of comments of me being the evil reptilian with the massive ego here to control you all. That's what I am, people. Give me your money. It's an art. I'm lucky that I found Gary Vaynerchuk, and just listening to his perspective kind of helps me with, comments and how am I gonna deal with certain people and everything else. Even every day. Right now I have lovely neighbors that hate me and my dogs. Like I just go out and she sees me and she starts yelling. She can be like on the other side of the parking lot and it's like pretty far and she like sees me and starts yelling and I'm like, okay, another one of those. So yeah, it's an art to learn how to confront it, how to not take it too seriously. Same thing with all the compliments I might get. I'm not making it like I'm everything and I'm the most beautiful or whatever. Like, no, whatever. Like, I can have a lot of hate, I can have a lot of good, but for me, the core is, do I know who I am, like, at the core? Who am I? What am I about? And what am I here to do? And once I focus on that, then a lot of things that are coming my way is like easy to handle with. But I know it can be overwhelming. The trolls and everything else, it can definitely be a thing. So if you need any help, if you want to talk about it, let me know. I'm here for you. Okay, if I haven't answered any of your questions, sort of copy paste them right now, pop them back up so that I could answer, because I'm like about to wrap it up in a few. So I'm also gonna copy the chat, see if I can find any questions later after stream, so that I'd be able to make videos about it separately, maybe. But yeah. And people, just another thing, a note, those of you who are not feeling too good, who are somewhat depressed and everything else, don't forget your water. Drink your water. Come on, don't forget it. Your stance, your breathing, some water, it's a practice. All of us, right? Patricia saying, I'm sorry for not getting your package that came back. Oh my god. Like, Lithuanian customs are so funny. I've had, like, another person send me a package. It stood in the customs for, like, a month or so. Came to Lithuania pretty fast, but, like, sorry about it. I'm gonna write to you after stream, because we haven't caught up for a while, so I just hope you're doing great. Nick is saying, thank you for the stream, but I'm very grateful for you being here. It's my pleasure. I'm just glad, like, you know, I'm not the best, I'm not the most entertaining, I don't know much, but I'm just glad that I can somehow give something to you people. If you just, like a different perspective, or there's something I say or do that helps you out one way or the other, that makes my day. That's all that matters to me. So yeah. Accidental words, like asking, how do I get out of body because I feel stuck? Yeah, about that. Look at the things that make you feel stuck. One of the basic things that will keep you inside your body and will stop you from getting out is focusing on this world. If you right now are following the world events, if you are feeling depressed, if you have everyday present time problems, like, oh, my car is parked in a way where I can get a ticket, my dog doesn't eat, my dog needs to go outside, and little things all around you that will keep your attention here on earth, in this world. Let's say you fall asleep and you get out of body, but yourself, your astral, will stay here, stuck. And you're just stuck to this world. Your attention is here, your focus, you're anchored, everything's here. So, you know, we did this little practice today. I think I'll just cut it out and upload it. It's not the best way, but, you know, like little practice of breathing, just removing anyone from your space, and then just visualizing and getting into your own realm, maybe connecting to your sovereign self. That is enough. Getting out of body, you don't have to think of it in definitions of you literally have to fall asleep, your astral body floats up and you see yourself inside the bed and you float around and do things and, you know, go through the doors and maybe go through, you know, the walls and you fly up and all the stuff. It's like, hey, it's a thing, yeah, but not for everyone. Getting out of body is the same as you just right now relax and you use your visuals to create a place. And if in that place you can see things, if you can get as good as, hey, I see a tree and I can touch a tree, or there's some sand and you touch sand and you feel every single grain and it's somewhat warm and all the stuff, if you can get to that, you're out of body. Your consciousness shifting. You're out there. There are different ways where you can lift up and fly and teleport and do stuff, but just visualizing. If you practice just that, you're out. You're good. Different definitions, different ways on going on it, but little practices. Again, everyday thing of, okay, try to keep a journal. Not that you would know about your amazing experiences. This would be, of course, great, but one of the things is like, once you're keeping the dream journal, you start paying attention to the details inside your dreams and what you're experiencing it. So every time you write a little, everything you remember from the dream, you're paying attention like, oh, look, that was that book and that was the writing on the book and everything else. But you're teaching yourself to pay attention, to be more aware, to be more awake within the dream, to pay attention to everything, to be more here and present. So when your physical body falls asleep and you end up in a dream state, you become more lucid. All of a sudden you're here, you're present, you're looking at things. Look at yourself in the mirror every day. Like, look at yourself in the mirror, high five yourself, give yourself like, hey, you're the best one. Give yourself a few compliments. Like, that's a thing for your depression and treating your state. But looking in that mirror will make a habit of, when you're in a dream, you're going to look at yourself. And a lot of times in a dream you look at yourself and you look a bit different. There's something about it, like you're like, it's me in a dream, and all of a sudden it like sort of pops you out of the body. It makes you more awake, it makes you more lucid. So from there you can move on and get out and easily and all. But that's like one of the things, like, you know, like dream journal, looking yourself in the mirror throughout the day. Ask yourself, am I dreaming now? Is this real? You know, touch things. And one of the things you can try out, I don't know if it's, you know, easy enough to get or not. I've tried these. Lucid-esque. It's like from Vivid Dream. I'm still like going with one bottle. I haven't gone enough. I mean, there's been like a lot more. But something you can try out. You can take a pill or two before going to bed and drink some water. Don't forget your dear water friend. But what happens, like, you have to get up in the middle of the night to go pee, to go touch things around. Once you get up, you do this grounding, wake up, and go back to sleep, right? So you practice that. But let's say you might have a supplement with melatonin, you might eat oranges, you might have something else. You do that, you get up, you practice, you go back to sleep. But that part of getting up in the middle of the night or at certain times, you know, as you're watching your REM cycles and everything else, there's a website where it even counts your sleeping cycles, so you can watch how many times you're gonna wake up if you are gonna set yourself a schedule when you go to sleep and when you're gonna wake up. So watching that, you can set alarm clocks to track your REM states, and also like, okay, just practice getting up and becoming more aware and going back to sleep, because little things like that will definitely help you out to become more aware and just sort of pop you out of body. So things like that, you know, just like, it's an everyday practice. It's like always a little work in progress. It's not something easy to do, but definitely, like, you know, good to go. And again, like, accidental warrior, like, a few things I was like write down is like, what are some of the things I'm struggling? Because like, I'm reading your comments as you're saying you used to have like a very easy time, like you just fly out and you got scared of the shadow people. So write down, like, maybe you're scared to go out, maybe you're scared to, you know, see those beings and like confront them and all. So like, as you write down things that are getting in the way from your perspective, you know, like, you're gonna have like at least some awareness, like, oh, that's in the way. And then there's a lot of ways to deal with your problems, you know, like where you deal with certain groups and, you know, trying to confront things, visualizing stuff, you know, like a lot of ways to go about it. NLP like a lot of processes, meditations and all this stuff, a lot of ways. Like, you probably know more about it than I do. So yeah. Oh, Patricia's saying, I met an entity in two out-of-body dream, that I woke up in two different realities. This entity came in and brought me back to my real timeline. So are there guards to bring you to the present? Definitely. A lot of times when we go exploring, we might find things that we shouldn't know about. If we know we're gonna get a better understanding, we're gonna change our perception of reality. We're gonna like, oh damn, and you're gonna be the next Nikola Tesla with a new technology or something else like that. Not necessarily just involved with the engineering and the like physics and all the stuff, but hey, you might bring something back here that will empower you, and you can give it to people. You can empower others. No, 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 you shouldn't do that. There are groups that think you should be a slave. You should know only a certain amount of things, and you don't even try to act like a god. So of course there are prison guards, and like they're gonna make sure you're sort of controlled, you're being watched, and you don't get out of your limits. You shouldn't know too much. You shouldn't understand better. And sometimes there are guards for entire group of humanity. Sometimes there are guards only for you. They're watching you to make sure, like, hey, you shouldn't connect to people from your past lives. You shouldn't connect to certain events that will give you greater understanding or memories of the past. And they're making like sort of okay, you're not gonna get the goal, so they're gonna push you back. And one thing I would suggest you to do, Patricia, and like maybe you and I can connect and do it together, is like target this being that pushed you back in, and sort of reverse time and go back to that moment where they sort of pushed you back in into that timeline. And we're gonna like, let's say, talk to them, stop everything in time, make our own little place, talk to them, have a conversation, what are they doing, why, and all stuff, and at the same time maybe program them or access their knowledge and memories if they're not willing to talk, to see what they're trying to guard and protect and not let you do. And as we do that, we can just like sort of like, okay, now I get it, now I see why you're like trying to push me back in the body, what you don't want me to know, and all this stuff. So there's that. Jaster is saying, I decided to ask with my thoughts, hello, is anyone here that can hear me? And as soon as I asked that question, I got an instant reply back that said, get out, get us out of here. That voice that replied was a female voice, and she spoke back with a whisper slightly louder than what I heard before. It startled me enough that my body jumped and I woke up. Have you ever experienced anything like it? Yeah. That's the thing, Jaster, like, you have, like, great ability. So, even just like having some intention to contact someone, just exploring, just like sort of like, hey, like you might want to communicate with someone, you can easily connect to a lot of beings. And once we don't have that direct target with who we want to talk to, for example, like you hear something, like, oh, who's that? And you try to connect to it, you're not being like specific about it. So you open yourself to the channel, or let's say to a radio that has a lot of channels. So you're like, hey, and all the channels that are able to receive it will hear you. And anyone that has an ability to communicate back, or will try to communicate back, and you have the ability to pick up and understand, there's going to be that stuff. So, yeah, you're definitely like opening up for the communication. They hear you, and you're able to pick a group back, like female and all this stuff. So that's a good thing. Now it's like, next thing is learning to confront it. And maybe like I would even start with creating a safer space for you, where you're not gonna get either too startled, or where you're gonna feel confident, and you might even have helpers, if anything. Like having some friends that can help you out, whether you create them, your own tulpas, McGregors, and other things, or your own like, okay, just like this is gonna be my hero image, and that's gonna be my protector, or you go with like, my own realm, and there's a court, and let's talk, or you have your own little, I don't know, like those little radios, or how are they called? I forgot. But like long distance little talkies or whatever it's called. So use those to communicate, ask certain questions, maybe create a place for that group or that person to go into where they would be safe, so that they wouldn't have to whisper, they could show up and all this stuff. But it's a good thing. You have an ability to communicate with people. It's just like a being able to like sort of confront it. So yeah. Mimi is saying, my daughter, when being awake, has episodes where she feels being forced from body. As in pushed out of body, I assume. It's interesting, and I would try like talking to her, like asking her about like, what do you feel, what happens during those moments, can you tell who's doing it to you, and how do you feel about it? Do you feel good or bad? Because like your daughter's like very perceptive, and I would even say we have entities in our space. That's one thing, but sometimes there are beings, and we're gonna sort of like separate them in several groups. There are beings that would like to experience a human body, and they either like you and they want to be with you. So your physical body is viewed as home. You're the host, but they want to live with you. And so let's say just a bit of consciousness, like someone wants to hang out with you, and they're gonna just like, let's say, push you out of body for a second to enter your space, and now they're with you. They don't really have control. They're not gonna control the body or control what you do. And one of the things like that happens is just like you start hearing more voices, maybe, or you just have different thinking. Your beingness change. All of a sudden, it's either good or bad. Sometimes some beings want to help, and you can push them like, no, thank you, and they can leave. Other times, these beings, get into your space, and all of a sudden, you have your beingness, you have theirs, and it's sort of all together, so you can't tell who you are. You can't tell what's going on for real. And so, the best thing from my perspective would be to identify those beingnesses. You know what your daughter's like, for example, and she might have an identity of how she sees herself, but you would have to go with, okay, well, once you got pushed out of body, let's say, what happens is something changed. And so she would have to identify with the beingness that she feels different, like personality changes a little bit, her actions, her words, the way she talks, that would be a thing probably. So just identifying it and either like just using entity methods, talking to them, getting them out of your space would be a thing. So yeah. And also you're asking any perceptive or advice on how to help with chronic depersonalization, and would be much appreciated. Okay. So for me, again, chronic depersonalization, the way I see it, because I experience it a lot for myself, is that I'm building myself as a character, but I can tune into other lives of myself and other planets now, and I'm just gonna be a whole different being. And I bring it back with different memories, or I'm like, okay, who am I? What the hell's going on? Like, I have different memories, and I have to settle down here after I experienced years or months of life over there. So, sort of creating, I don't know, like, boundaries and identities by what you can sort of, like, anchor yourself to or with. As in, like, you have this beingness about yourself here. How would you like to see yourself here? Who do you think you are? You sort of, like, put yourself, like, a little... If you were to write a character or create some beingness that you would like to be, how would you see yourself on Earth? And so you have your, like, description of who you are, how you act, things you say, things you feel, and all this stuff, and that's you here on Earth. So that is your core, for example. And anything that changes, you can say, like, okay, well, that's not me, or that's something I'm not or don't want to be, and various methods, again, to remove it from your space. Again, identify what that beingness is that you don't want to be or feel or have, and various things like, again, putting it in the box, and the removal, giving it permission to leave, talking to it, would be ways to go about it. There's like tons of tools. I'm just mentioning just a few that I use a lot, but that would be my way of going. But hey, feel free to write me an email if you want to go deeper into it. I can definitely look what's going on, if it's about you or your daughter, and we can like sort of look at more variations if it will help you. All right, and Flash Machine is saying, I think the reason YouTube removed inboxes is because they don't want us to connect with each other on a more personal level. Yeah, totally. When they can watch everything on the Gmail and Yahoo and, mainstream media, websites and everything else, it's easy for them. But I just think of those, I don't know, like pedophiles and them talking on porn websites and using their deals over there, like being caught in like 4chan and stuff, trying to talk about, okay, we have a new, groomed kid, let's go for it. It's like, you talk about it on YouTube, no one sees it. It's like, yeah, that's easy. So they have more control for sure. So yeah, okay, people. It's been almost 2 hours. I'm gonna go. I enjoy talking to you all, and hopefully I brought some sort of value to you. And feel free to write me emails or contact me through social media. I'm trying to be more active these days. So I'll get back to a few people that wrote to me on emails right now, and we'll make sure more stream happens soon. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you for donations, for support. People from Russia, you're loved, you're cared about, you're good, you're innocent. We love you, we see you. And people from Ukraine, you're innocent, you're good, we love you. Like this whole thing, focus on yourself, focus on the best parts that you can do, what you can control,